Let's see what kind of text we have to read today, because I don't know. Let's find the page. Let's find the specific text. The direct method. Okay, today I'm going to read some text about the second method that I'm going to bring to this channel, because the last video I recorded about the grammar translation method. Okay, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to improve my English, to practice English, just reading a book. And this book, it's called Teaching by Principles. It's the name of book, the title, An Interactive Approach to Language Pedagogy. It was an important book that I used it in a subject, a special subject that I had on university, called Methodology of English Teaching. Yes, I think it's the name. It was the name. Yeah. And so the teacher in that time, always used this book, and why not use this book to practice in English here in my channel? Okay, I think it's a good idea. Just try to read title by title, text by text. Okay, let's see. So the second method, going in the serious method. Let me remember you that I don't use in English in my day, okay? Because it's not normal for me. My native language is Portuguese, because I'm from Brazil. I don't use in English in my day. I really don't use it, and so it's difficult to me to maintain the communication, the normal communication in English. But I try to record a video once a week in English like this here, but I just try to read some text, okay? And I try to explain something. Now I'm doing it exactly now, but it's not easy. And my focus here is just read and not try to say every moment some kind of in English, in English, because we learn in university that, because I study linguistic in a university actually, and so we study a lot of methods, but we know something very interesting when you have to learn some language, about the skills that you have to improve or development to try to understand that language. For example, you can write something, some texts. You can write text. You can write letters. You can write. You can read texts like I'm doing now. You can listen some things in English, sounds, music, voices, videos, or another things, and you can you can speak. And so we have 4 skills for the communication that you can practice. You can improve your language: listening, speaking, writing, and reading. And so in this video I'm just trying to do this. Okay, let's start finally the text. Foundations for a Classroom Practice, a Methodical History of Language Teaching. The title is, or the method is, GOUIN and the Serious Method. I don't know what is the meaning of GOUIN, but let's read, okay? As we begin our look now at the history of modern foreign language teaching, beginning in the late 18th century, we look in François GOUIN. GOUIN, it's a guy, a French teacher of Latin. Rules, insights, and writings were truly remarkable. History doesn't normally think of GOUIN as a founder of language teaching methodology because of the time his influence was overshadowed by that of Charles Berlitz, the popular German founder of the direct method. Nevertheless, some attention to GOUIN's unusually perceptive observations about language teaching help us to set the stage for development of language teaching methods for the century following the publication of his book, The Art of Learning and Studying Foreign Languages in 1818. GOUIN had to, though, a very painful set of experiences in order to derive his insight. Having decided in his midlife to learn German, he took up residence in Hamburg for 1 year, but rather than attempting to converse with the natives, he engaged in a rather bizarre sequence of attempts to master the language. Upon arrival in Hamburg, he felt he should memorize a German grammar book and a table of the 248 irregular German verbs. He did this in a matter of only 10 days and hurried to the academy, the university, to test his knowledge. But alas, he wrote, I could not understand a single word, not a single word. GOUIN was undaunted. He returned to the isolation of his room, this time to memorize the German roots and he memorized the grammar book in irregular verbs. This guy is totally different because in your mind, he just have to memorize the things. I think I don't know if it does kind of thing could be a good idea, but let's see. The result was this again. He returned to the isolation of his room, this time to memorize the German roots and to memorize the grammar book and irregular verbs. Again, he emerged with expectations of success, but alas, the result was the same as before. In the course of the year in Germany, GOUIN memorized books, translated Goethe and Schiller, and even memorized 30,000 words in a German dictionary. All of this isolation of his room, only to be crushed by his failure to understand German afterwards. Only once did he try to make conversations as a method, but this caused people to laugh at him, and he was too embarrassed to continue that method. At the end of the year, GOUIN have reduced the classical method to absurdity, was forced to return home a failure. It's funny, but there is a happy ending. Happy ending. Upon returning home, GOUIN discovered that his 3 years old nephew had during that year gone through that wonderful stage of child language acquisition in which he went from saying virtually little child succeeded too easily in a first language is a task that GOUIN in a second language had found impossible. The child must hold the secret to learning a language. Let's see. Interesting. So GOUIN spent a great deal of time observing his nephew and other children and came to the following conclusion. Let's see what What were the conclusion? What was the conclusions that this guy has found? Hmm. Whereas, well, I'm lost. Where's the? Okay, so Goins spent a great deal of time observing his nephew and other children and came to the following conclusions. Language learning is primarily a matter of transforming perceptions and conceptions. Let's repeat this because I think it's really important. Language learning is primarily a matter of transforming perceptions and conceptions. Children use language to represent their conceptions. Children use language to represent their conceptions. Language is a means of of representing the world to oneself. Thus, insights, remembers are being formed by a language teacher over a century ago. So Goin said about devising a teaching method that would follow from these insights. And thus the series method was created, a method that taught learning directly without translation and conceptually without grammatical rules and explanations. A series of connected sentences that are easy to receive. The first lesson of foreign language would thus teach the following series of 15 sentences. For example, I walk towards the door. I draw near to the door. I draw nearer to the door. I get to the door. I stop at the door. I stretch out my arm. I take hold of the handle. I turn the handle. I open the door. I pull the door. The door moves. The door turns on its hinges. The door turns and turns. I open the door wide. I let go of the handle. Okay, it was the examples. Let's see now the last paragraph about this method. It's interesting method. The 15 sentences have an unconventionally large number of grammatical properties, vocabulary, items, word orders, and complexity. This is no sample voice table lesson. Yet Cousin was useful with such lesson because the language was so easily understood, stored, recalled, and related to reality. Unfortunately, he was a man ahead of his time. Unfortunately, he was a man ahead of his time, and his insights were largely lost in the shuffle of Berlet's popular direct method. But as we look back now over a century of language teaching history, we can appreciate the insights of this most unusual language teacher. Let's see what's the date of this guy. The art of the language of studying foreign language in it. Okay, 18th century. Nice. Okay, going in the series method. It's nice. Now, the next video I'm going to talk about the direct method. And so, thank you for watching this video. I think it's a good idea if you want to improve your English, or improve English or another language. You can practice like I'm doing right now. For me it's difficult and I can't say something in English or something that I have to use in English. But I just trying to reading. I just trying to speaking something in English. I just trying to listening sometimes, or I just try to writing something in English. I just use this for skills to develop the or to improve my ability to say something or to use in English like a language, because it's not my native language, and so it's difficult. But I'm here and I recorded this video and I read this text today. In the next video we're gonna talk about the direct method the next week. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Watch the last video that I record in this channel, the video about the grammar translation method. Thank you.